then he went. And then our teacher, Badabandaji, used to say, then when I started interacting with people, sometimes people would tell me, who is Buddha? As a Buddhist monk, it was a little shocking for him. But then that's how he started, with absolute zero support and hardly anybody knowing about Buddhism. And then somehow this, what we call nowadays, it's going on for almost close to 70 years. Mahabodhi is going to be 70 years next year. He started the Sunday Dhamma talk with just four people, four professors of the government college who came. Actually, they came to him with they were very inquisitive, and they were also very not very happy about the fact that a Buddhist monk has suddenly come down and started a monastery. And some people had objections to it because it was very unheard of, a Buddhist monastery coming up in Bangalore in remote South India. So they had objections. So they came for basically a kind of a debate, and so they had a lot of discussions with our teacher, and then somehow finally they were convinced that Buddhism is the path, there is a straight path to happiness and freedom. So with these four professors of the government college, he started this Sunday Dhamma talk, Sunday meditation and Dhamma talk, which is going on every Sunday till now, unbroken, close to 70 years. And that's how he said, that's how my journey with Buddhism started in South India. And of course, it grew over the years. And there are many, many incidents. For example, now you know that there is a very big Tibetan Buddhist establishment in the South India. And that also, because it started in 1958-59, and in those days the chief minister of Karnataka is Nijalingappa. He got a letter from Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, and he had no idea much about Buddhism, but he knew our teacher Bada Banteji, and he came and asked that, Banteji, I got this letter from Prime Minister, and Prime Minister is telling me he has written to basically every CM, you should grant land to the Tibetan refugees. Basically, that was his letter. So should I grant? Who are these people? And I have no idea. I want to get a suggestion from you. So he was the one who suggested, yes, they are the Buddhist people who have been displaced from Tibet, and they should get support from the government, so provide land. So he was one of the main instrumental persons. Very few know about this fact that one of the biggest Tibetan settlement is in Karnataka, in two places, near Mysore and near North Karnataka, near Hubli. And he was instrumental in getting the land for the Tibetan Buddhist people. And over the years, he started his activities with the Dhamma discourse, with meditation and talks, and then of course he also ventured into a lot of service-oriented, especially the seva to the people. It all started like the first proper burns hospital in whole of South India was established by him, and that too happened because of he had to visit government hospital in those days, 1950s and 60s. There were government hospital was the only available place. He was visiting and he saw a person, a young woman, fully burnt and suffering, and there was no facility. There was no burnt hospital in whole of South India in those days, almost 1959-60. So he was so moved by that, so he decided to contact people and raise donation and set up now it's still there. It's called Mahabodhi Burn Center in the Government Medical College in Bangalore, and it was the first formal burns casualty hospital in whole of South India. So that's how he was, and then of course many other. The list goes on, and then eventually also he thought that the Buddhist people, especially a lot of Buddhist people from the communities where they are not financially or educationally forward, they should get the education which is based on Buddhist foundation, like Panchashila, for example, how a Buddhist life should be. So, and one of the, you can say, the Buddhist model school that we have now in Mysore and of course in other places, that also came up because of that idea that, the Buddhist students, if they just, or basically in his own words, holistic education, because he was an engineer, he was an automobile engineer who was in the British Army, had seen the war, renounced the world, traveled just to find a suitable place where to go, and then eventually came across Dhammapada, decided to become a Buddhist monk, couldn't find a Buddhist monastery, then he had to travel all the way to Kushinagar to find ordination from Venerable Chandramani Mahathera, the person who gave Diksha to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So of course, it was much before 1949. He got his Samanera ordination, and then Venerable Chandramani Mahathera advised that in India there is no Buddhist, and if you really want to get trained and get higher ordination, better to travel to Sri Lanka. So he traveled to Sri Lanka and then met some of the very great teachers, Venerable Jnana Tilaka, whose books are very authentic in the Theravada Buddhism, and some of the very great teachers. So he said that I had to struggle a lot, literally struggle a lot to find a teacher, to get the ordination, to get one Dhamma book. It was a really big struggle for me in the early days. So that's why he always insisted on stick training, and of in his later years he took it very like he gave all his time. I remember him in his 80s and 90s spending whole days talking to bhikkhus, talking to samaneras, teaching them, taking classes, advising them, counseling them from morning till evening. And it's not like it is in his old age, but he was spending so much of time to do all this, because he always used to say that the lack of, one of the fundamental reasons the Buddhism was lost in India is because the lack of good monks. The monks somehow were not so, I mean, they were monks, but they were not so well trained and not so sincere about Vinaya. And so eventually lay people also lost the faith. So that is one of the reasons that Buddhism gradually disappeared. So if there are well-trained monks, only then good monks, only then the Buddhism can thrive in his own land, basically. So in fact, that the whole motto of Mahabodhi Society, that in his Pali, that was his lifelong motto, Jote the Buddha Sasanam Bharatasming Rattasming. May the Buddha Sasana shine in the land, in its own motherland, India. So that was the motto of Mahabodhi Society. When he established with this purpose. So almost last 15, 20 years of his life, he fully dedicated for the monastic development. And we are also fortunate to be getting Dhamma training from him, Vinaya and Sutta, and of course the whole monastic training. And as it's so, now we have many monasteries in the south as well as in the in northeast and other parts. And also one of the auspicious things that we fail is that our connection with the Thai forest tradition, which started somewhere in 2013, 14, with the arrival of Lumpur Ajahn Tan, who is considered a very highly renowned monk in the Thai forest tradition, a direct disciple of Lumpur Cha. And so he arrived in Bangalore, and then he arrived consecutively for 2 years, and then later on 1 more year. And that's how our sort of connection with Thai forest tradition, and then we got connected to Wat Mabjan, Venerable Ajahn Anan, and we are very closely connected with Wat Mabjan, and we are every Friday we are meeting online for the Dhamma program, and now me as a monk have traveled extensively to Thailand and stayed in Wat Bunyawad, especially for a long, like for months, and of course in Wat Mabjan, and then subsequently we had Venerable Ajahn Kevali. We and it's I don't know, I wouldn't call it an accident because it's been 3 years since 3 4 years since when we have Venerable Ajahn Kevali visited 2023, and then from that time onwards we are constantly connected to uh, what Chat as well, and also to Venerable Ajahn on various occasions. And then recently, as you all know, that Venerable Ajahn Jayasaro has also visited there and spent a day. He actually said, I would like to come back for sure and spend longer time, because it's very heartening, in his words, it's very heartening to see so many monks and novices in India, which is a very good sign. And so what I feel is the coming up of the Aranya Sangharama here, and our connection, our strong connection with the Aranya Sangharama, these are all auspicious times. And as our teacher used to say, that if you are dedicatedly working to develop, to practice the Dhamma, Vinaya sincerely, and to teach people just with only intention, may the people get the Dhamma, that's it, and no other, nothing else in mind. So then surely in India in future the Dhamma will arise from many places, and he will witness that, and we can see, and it's a very positive and heartening development here, that we are I'm sitting here in the first Katina ceremony of Aranya Sangharama here, which is such a, and of course I was also fortunate to be part of the inauguration program here. And these are all auspicious signs. But what we also must remember and must not forget is that in Mahabodhi Society and here in Aranya Sangharama, there are some other monasteries from Sri Lanka, and maybe not so much from Thailand, I guess, but from Sri Lanka, and maybe one or two monasteries from the forest tradition in Myanmar. They're coming up in various places in India. And but the community, the Buddhist community, has a very has to take it up in a very serious way. That's what I want to convey to all of you, that these are times which calls for a more sincere and dedicated effort on the part of the lay community as well. Of course, the monks are doing, and monks will continue to do what they are supposed to do, practicing Dhamma Vinaya and guiding the lay people. But also it is an opportunity for the larger, because the number of monks is limited, whereas the number of people in the lay community is much more. And the lay people, lay community also must take it in a, take this opportunity basically to this, and to try to support the Sangha, so that more places can come up, more Dhamma places can come up. And because India, what I feel, the biggest loss of India is the loss of Buddha Dhamma. If the Buddha Dhamma was here, and if the fundamental principles, for example, Now we talk about five precepts, which is very fundamental. But if you go out in the villages and cities, you don't see much of five precepts, unfortunately. And so this is one single thing that I want to point out. But the thing is, this is not so simple. This is the what I feel like a degradation of the moral fabric of India. When the Buddha Dhamma disappeared, the wholesome things, the right things, also slowly forgotten by people over the years, over generations. And this is the time when India can get back that heritage. India can really take up the Buddha Dhamma and cultivate and support it, so that, because the develop it is we must understand the spread of Dhamma is something that is good for everybody. It is good for one and all. It's not because the Buddha Dhamma is something that doesn't even talk about a partisan or any kind of group. It's something to do with our own mind, something to do with our own inner development, something how to be good, how to be pure, how to purify our own self. Like today, as Lumpur said, Sabba Papasa Akaranam Kusalasa Upasampada. So this is the fundamental of Buddha Dhamma. So it is not, so anybody taking it up seriously is is undergoing a process of inner purification. Simple. So the monastic and the lay community, of course, together must work hard in as we are trying to do. And we will, of course, in the coming years, we will be also closely associated, as Venerable Kepali always wishes, with the Aranya Sangarama for its development and whatever assistance that we can provide or whatever support we can provide. And also, we want our only sincere wish is may the monastic and the lay community work together and bring back the noble teachings of the Supreme Buddha. Because if the noble teachings are back here in this land, this is the land of the Buddha. We all sit here and we feel proud that this is the land of the Buddha. But when we go around in villages and towns and cities, we don't see people with the heart of Dhamma, unfortunately. And that is what saddens me, because this is the land of the Buddha. This is the land of all the Buddhas. And this is, maybe we can all take it as a pledge for all the monastic and the lay community, that we will take it sincerely and we will uphold in our heart and support with the support of the Sangha and with the guidance of the Sangha and with the effort of the lay community. I'm sure this will come up in a way which will be good for one and all. And we wish that may more and more monasteries. I'm just concluding. Okay, you can hold it. So may uh, wonderful monasteries come up, may more and more Sangha members come up, may more and more lay people come and join. And one very heartening thing, what I felt like earlier, when I came here, I went for alms round few days, and this time also I went for alms round with the other monks. And it's so heartening to see that people in the village, with so much happiness and gladness, they offer the alms food. This is Dhamma. This is actual Dhamma. Because when you have, they may not know too much of the theories or this and that, but the fact that they offer meals to monks, to Sangha with a gladdened heart, is that they have seeds of Dhamma. It's without a doubt. So these are the things that we must rejoice in. And it's not just here, like in the we have a monastery in our retreat center in the South India, near to Bengaluru. There we do alms round, and we cannot, because we have like less number of monks living there, so we have to just go some days, but not all days. But if we are going 2 days, 3 days, and the next, they will keep on asking, please come tomorrow, please come tomorrow. The villagers would be so happy to tell. So these are all the signs that people have seeds of Dhamma in their hearts. And it is basically our job as monks, and also the sincere lay devotees, to encourage and bring as many people as possible. And another thing that I want to say, highlight here, is without the Sangha, it is difficult to keep the Dhamma alive. Now, here in Aranya Sangharama, we have some Indian monks, very fortunately. But then we should have more Indian monks, because that is one of the things. Even now, say for example, people just come up randomly from, say, in Uttar Pradesh, or say Maharashtra, or some other places. And they say, "Oh, we are running a monastery, so wonderful, and you please come and set up a monastery in Maharashtra. Please come and we will give you land. Please come and set up a monastery in Uttar Pradesh." We said, "Do you have enough monks, or anybody willing to become a monk from your area? Anybody?" So, and then most people are silent. So, because you see, when we have to have many monasteries, we have to have many monks. Simple as that. And if not many people, not many Indian people are coming forward to become monks, then it will be really difficult. So that is one thing that you all lay community, and especially as lay community, you must encourage young people whenever. I mean, not everybody can become a monk, I understand, but there are people who have sincerity and maybe potential to become a monk. So तो ये जो monk बनने का, भिक्षु बनने का जो है, ये बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि बिना संघ के धम्म का कुछ कौन बोलेगा, धम्म पालन कौन करेगा, बोलेगा कौन, सिखाएगा कौन? तो संघ बहुत जरूरी है। तो इन भारत में जो है, अभी भी संघ, मतलब भिक्षु बनने का अभी भी उतना आए हैं, पहले से तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि हम लोग बेंगलोर में, मैं आज आजान से बात कर रहा था, आई वाज टॉकिंग टू आजान, एंड वी कीप गेटिंग एप्लीकेशंस once in 15 days, at least one application for monk we get. But the thing is, अभी भी I think maybe that faith, the श्रद्धा अभी भी उतना पूरा नहीं हुआ है. When we say, okay, you come and we will discuss and you have to abide by these rules, फिर लोग, आधे से ज्यादा लोग गायब हो जाते हैं, हम लोग बाद में आएंगे। तो ऐसा है, अभी भी है। हाफ द पीपल, मोर देन हाफ द पीपल डिसअपियर, बिकॉज लोगों को अभी भी आइडिया नहीं है मॉन्क बनना। लोगों को अभी एक रोमांटिसाइजिंग आइडिया है, मॉन्क बनना ऐसा है, लेकिन मॉन्क बनना, जो रियल लाइफ में बनना, इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट थिंग। To become a monk and to remain as a monk is a very different and challenging task. There is nothing to romanticize about it. But अभी भी लोगों के पास वो आइडिया नहीं है। But as a lay community, and not just in this part, everywhere, encourage people to come and take up the monk life। ये भिक्षु का लाइफ जो है, क्योंकि अच्छे भिक्षु, एक मैं देखा हूँ मेरे अपने एक्सपीरियंस से, एक परिवार में या एक एरिया में कोई एक अच्छा भिक्षु बनता है, तो बहुत सारे उनके फैमिली, उनके रिश्तेदार, उनके आजू बाजू में गांव एरिया में बहुत सारे लोगों के ऊपर में उसका एक अच्छा प्रभाव होता है, बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव होता है एक भिक्षु का। तो एक, और इन भारत में तो भिक्षु गिने चुने मिलेंगे, मिलते ही नहीं है ना। अभी पूरे भारत में मतलब, मैं ऐसे तो किसी के ऊपर कमेंट नहीं करना चाहता, पर सही तरह से भिक्षु गिनने से 1,000 मिलना भी बहुत बड़ा मुश्किल होगा, 500 मिलना भी मुश्किल होगा शायद। तो एनीवेज, तो ये जो है भिक्षु संघ के और उपासक उपासिका दोनों का जो अपना ड्यूटी है, अभी बुद्ध धर्म का, और एक बुद्ध धर्म का आगे आने का बहुत सारे जो संकेत है, जो साइंस है, वो दिखाई दे रहे हैं। और ये मौका जो है हमें लेना है, हमें अपने आप में उसको, बुद्ध धर्म को स्थापित करना है, और साथ ही साथ में, क्योंकि अपने अंदर अगर बुद्ध धर्म स्थापित नहीं है, तो दूसरा को सिखा के तो फायदा नहीं है। क्योंकि बुद्ध धर्म ऐसा चीज है कि अगर ये बोलने का चीज नहीं है, ये जो है अपना लाइफ से उसको देखना है। मतलब भगवान बुद्ध के समय में भी, अभी आप लोग जानते होंगे, वहाँ बनते सारिपुत्र जो भगवान बुद्ध के अग्र श्रावक थे, चीफ डिसाइपल, एंड व्हाट हैपेंड टू हिम, ही मेट वेनरेबल अस्सजी बनते, अस्सजी थेरा। was one of the first five disciples, and he was so impressed that he followed him and then asked him question, and then got became a Sotapanna, and then finally came to Lord Buddha. ऐसा क्यों है? क्योंकि एक अच्छा भिक्षु का वजह से लोगों के जीवन परिवर्तन हो सकते, ये तो हमारे सामने है, वो भी अग्र शावक सारिपुत्र भंते का कहानी देखने से हम लोगों को पता चलता है। तो ये जो है, इसलिए भिक्षु का लाइफ का बहुत बड़ा वैल्यू रहा है। हमारे जो आचार्य बुद्ध रखिता महाथेरावंते जी थे, हमारे जो गुरु जी थे, अभी उनके वजह से इतने लोगों को, इतने लोग भिक्षु बन के भिक्षु का जीवन जी रहे हैं और धम्मा विनय को पालन कर रहे हैं और आगे बढ़ाने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और उन्होंने जब शुरू किया था उनके पास कुछ भी नहीं था, जीरो, एज आई सेड। उन्होंने चाबी दिया, अभी आप मैनेज करो बोल के चले गए सिंपली। फिर उनको अभी उनको एक आदमी भी मालूम नहीं। तो मैं समटाइम्स वंडर, अभी हम लोग कहीं एक जगह में जाते हैं तो प्लान करते हैं कौन सा होटल में रहना है, कौन सा गाड़ी में जाना है, कौन सा खाना क्या खाना है, कपड़ा कौन सा लेके जाना है। लोग वो जब गए तो खाना कहाँ खाना है, ही हैज टू हैड टू गो फॉर आर्म्स राउंड, ही यूज्ड टू गो फॉर आर्म्स राउंड। बट लोगों को आर्म्स राउंड भी मालूम नहीं था उस जमाने में, क्योंकि अभी उस जमाने में बुद्धिस्ट है ही नहीं, तो आर्म्स राउंड क्या है? तो कभी कोई देता है, कभी कोई नहीं देता है, ऐसा था। एनीवेज, तो उस सिचुएशन से उन्होंने शुरू किए और उन्होंने इसको स्थापित करके आज करीब 70 साल होने वाला है अगले साल, जिसके वजह से हुआ है। उसी प्रकार से अभी लोगो लोगो मन जो थाई फॉरेस्ट ट्रेडिशन के स्थापन किए थे, तब थाई फॉरेस्ट ट्रेडिशन को जो उन्होंने रिवाइव किए, तो अभी उनका लाइफ, हिज लाइफ इज सो वंडरफुल, एंड हाउ ही लिव्ड एज अ मंक, एज अ समना। और जिनका वजह से आज लोंगपो मन के वजह से there were so many great monks, Longta Mahabua, Longpo Cha, and so many great monks, and then from that tradition so many great monks from now. So ये जो है, अभी हम लोग क्या सोचेंगे कि एक एक भिक्षु अच्छे से जिएंगे तो क्या करेंगे, लेकिन आज आज इन लोगों का लाइफ अगर हम लोग देखेंगे तो इनसे इतने ज्यादा भिक्षु प्रभावित हुए, इतने लोग भिक्षु बने, इतने लोग भिक्षु बन रहे हैं, इतने लोग धम्म विनय को पालन कर रहे हैं। तो ये तो हमारे सामने, ये वो भी भगवान बुद्ध के नहीं, वर्तमान काल के ये जो उदाहरण है। तो इसलिए ये हमारा यही है कि हम लोग सब मिलके बुद्ध शासन को आगे बढ़ाना है, धम्म विनय को आगे बढ़ाना है। क्योंकि धम्म विनय आगे बढ़ने से, ऐसा तो एक चीज मैं समझा हूं, धम्म से आज तक, भगवान बुद्ध के समय से लेकर आज तक, ऐसा शायद ही कोई व्यक्ति मिला हो या कोई बोल सकता है मैंने धम्मा पालन किया और इसके वजह से मुझे मुझे कुछ नुकसान हो गया, क्षति हो गया, लॉस हो गया, मेरा जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गया। ऐसा तो नहीं होता है। भगवान बुद्ध का धम्मा ऐसा पवित्र चीज है जिससे मंगल है, आदि कल्याणं मध्य कल्याणं पर्यवसान कल्याणं। तो ये जो है, शुरू में कल्याण है, बीच में भी कल्याण है और अंत में भी कल्याण है। अकल्याण किसी का हुआ नहीं। तो ये जो है हमें मन में रखना है और आगे सब लोग मिलके काम करना है। भविष्य में भी हम लोग सब लोग मिलके काम करेंगे। इतना बोलते हुए मैं समाप्त करता हूँ।
साधु 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 अनुमोदामि। थैंक यू बंते जी, थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग। जैसे मैंने शेयर किया, जो हम संग्राम, आरण्य संग्राम है और जो अजंचा ट्रेडिशन है, हमारा महाबोधि सोसाइटी बेंगलोर के परंपरा से एक शुरुआत से काफ़ी क्लोज रिश्ता रहा है। Ajahn Kevali spent almost 2 weeks or 10 days traveling down, visiting many of their branches. और हमारे जो एल्डर्स हैं, जो हमारे आचार्य हैं, वो हमें इनकरेज करते हैं कि भारत में जो एग्जिस्टिंग विनय पालन करने वाले मॉनेस्ट्रीज हैं, परंपराएं हैं, उनके साथ हमें बहुत अच्छा स्ट्रॉन्ग रिश्ता, रिलेशनशिप बना के रखनी चाहिए। तो वी आर रियली ग्रेटफुल कि हमारे न्योते पे सुगतनंद जी भंते, एंड बिफोर हिम कश्यप जी केम। इन फैक्ट जब अजन जंडी केम, देन कश्यप जी वाज हियर। और सबसे पहले जब अजन सुमेधो आए थे तब भी धम्मलोक जी हमारे साथ थे। सो वी आर वेरी ग्रेटफुल एंड फॉर्चुनेट कि महाबोधि सोसाइटी हमें इतना सपोर्ट कर रही है। And so we request Bhante to accept our gratitude and also convey to the rest of the monks. और ट्रस्ट की तरफ से आई रिक्वेस्ट अमित टू सुटेबली ऑनर बनते एंड मे बी विराग कैन हेल्प अमित. विराग डैडी की मदद करो थोड़ी. ओके. ओके. So Virag is very appropriately named and he has spent a lot of time in Sangaram. We miss him when he's not here. Or so on behalf of the trust, Amit is of course the representative, but obviously he needs some help. So Virag, sorry, okay, Bante just corrected me. Virag is the real representative. Amit उनके साथ चल रहे हैं केवल मदद करते हुए. Okay, साधु 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 विराग. Okay, very good. Okay. Sadhu Bande, thank you so much for being here and, of course, sharing some words. And so we'll again now अब 4 बज रहे हैं. हमारा next engagement 6 बजे start होगा. So we can go around. पीछे की तरफ बिल्डिंग के पीछे आप जाके देख सकते हैं. वहाँ वो डाइंग का प्रोसेस अब चल रहा है. कुछ डाई अजन संगमन लाए हुए हैं. So they're doing it कोयले में उसको गर्म करके कर रहे हैं. So you're welcome to join. And we'll meet at 6. Okay. Okay. Very good. हाँ जी पायल आइए. Okay, Sugatananda is on his way to Tripura, so we are making sure that he has to pay excess baggage. प्रियंका जी मम्मी आराम कर रही हैं. ओके, लेट्स ओके, शाम को कर लेंगे. या ओके. Deepthi, we can do the Arahang and then we can all go, once Payal finishes. Okay, I'll do it. It's okay. Sama sambuddho bhag buddhang bhagavantang abhivademi. Smakhato bhagavata dhammo dhammang namassami. सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो संघं नमामि. So we can all pay respects to first to Ajahn Kevali and then to Sugatananda ji. Ajahn Kevali को पहले हम नमन करेंगे सब लोग. और मेरे साथ अब सुगतानंद जी भंते जी को भी करेंगे. ये साधु. So 6 बजे मिलेंगे, but you're all welcome to go over on the other side and see the tradition.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This is all for right now.